photo series captures just how engrossed Londoners are in their phones. We know by now that we've become worryingly dependent on our phones. We sleep with them by our beds. We use them for everything from navigation systems to a way to stay in touch with our grandmas. We find ourselves feeling lost without them, our hands fidgeting, looking for something to grasp to connect us to the rest of the world. We know this. We don't like it. We know it's a concern. And yet we just can't stop staring at those little screens. That's why it's handy to have a little reminder, a jolt out of our smartphone bubble to tell us that there are things that exist offline, out in the world. Take photographer Ritso 10Kate's project, Caught in the App. Caught in the App is a photo series that started back in 2016 and has captured hundreds of faces since. Ritso hits the streets, finds a busy area, and waits for people to bump into his camera. It happens often, because, well, people are staring at their phones rather than looking up and ahead. That's when he takes the picture, when the people have momentarily been brought out of the world of their phone and back into reality. When they look up, slightly dazed and disorientated. My intention is to bring them back into our world, Ritso tells metro.co.uk. Nothing more, nothing less. No aggression. No judgment. They walk, give me their glimpses, we, usually, talk and they move on. After taking the photos, Ritso asks the people if it's okay for him to use the photo, then chats to them about the project without preaching about the evils of phone addiction. He started taking the photos back in the summer of 2016, when everyone started playing Pokemon Go. Ritso got caught up in the trend, and one day found himself so distracted by throwing Pokeballs at Piats that he got lost in his own town. I felt like a zombie being totally unaware of my surroundings and my own presence, the photographer remembers. I decided to dive into it and started taking pictures of players. After a few rounds on the streets, I moved on to taking street photographs of people using smartphones. And then one girl looked up and I knew there was something special in it. It felt cold. A body without soul. I started making portraits and took these in my hometown. Ritso explored his hometown, Groningen, in the Netherlands first, then moved on to documenting Londoners. The reactions from the subjects of his photos have been overwhelmingly positive. Of the more than 500 people he's photographed, Ritso says he's only experienced 5 people who were unfriendly to him once he explained what he was doing. The responses tend to fit into one of 3 categories. 1. They immediately admit that they are addicted to their phones and want to change. 2. They go right back to focusing on their phone. Or 3. They feel embarrassed. Most people like it, says Ritso. Especially the Londoners. Many of them like my initiative and admit that they're hooked. In terms of numbers, young people are in the lead, but in level of being away the elderly people are champion. Especially 50-plus people. Their souls really seem to leave their bodies, making them totally unaware of whatever happens in their surroundings. His passion for continuing the project comes from his own deep-rooted concerns about our society's dependence on technology. People nowadays live several lives in one, Ritso notes. One in the real world, on the streets, at tables, in bed. And many online. Smartphones make it easy to travel permanently between these worlds. To warp. The soul leaves the body to another dimension or world or whatever. A chromatic body remains like in the Matrix. This permanent traveling between world worries me. It causes traffic accidents. It distracts us. It makes us dismindful, which makes us feel tired. It disconnects us. And maybe the most worrying, it desocializes us, according to research of MIT professor Sherry Turkle. And we should even worry about attachment problems facing our children and long-term consequences involved. The photographer has been trying to use his own smartphone less, and in a more healthy way, since 2007, and hopes that this series will inspire others to do the same. I call it an initiative, he explains. I start social movements. It's not about my pictures, it's about the awareness-creating movement. We got aware of the dark sides of alcohol, smoking, and hard drugs, but we haven't reached this point in smartphone addiction, which may be worse than all these other addictions together. It's free, it's unlimited, and it's designed to be addictive. Smartphones are great and valuable, but we should be aware of addictive and unhealthy behavior. I compare it to water. Water is healthy. We cannot live without it. But do we live with a garden hose in our mouths? Nope. We drink water when we want to and use it to wash the dishes, take a shower or flush the toilet. That's how we should learn to use our smartphones too. In a healthy, valuable way. With my series I'm holding up a mirror and let people discover themselves what they think of this behavior and what they want to do about it. We are still in the phase of being in love with our phones and not in a phase of maturity. We're getting there, but it's still about chocolate, flowers and butterflies in your belly. To get there we need to become more aware of the dark sides of our young fresh beautiful partner. Rizzo believes that it's worth starting over, turning off our phones for a bit, and seeing how we get on. Also we can start to question behavior that's become the norm. Drop our phones for one afternoon, one day, 1 week, he advises. Realize what life was or is without this behavior. Meet the Muslim woman boxing her way through prejudice. Check out this couple in number 039's incredible wedding photo shoot, inside a volcano. These are the scars and burns of the Rohingya refugees. Fleeing Myanmar. Creator of in number 039, World and number 039's most viewed photograph in number 039, creates new phone wallpapers. Formulate our real needs. And answer those needs. And nothing more. This can lead to, I need contact with my friends. What are the options? WhatsApp, a phone call, playing soccer or a beer. I prefer, playing golf and having a beer afterwards. Easy, right? Give it a go and see what happens. You might like the feeling of cutting the cord and being free from the pressure to check every email and tweet that comes your way. Or you might hate it, in which case you can retreat right back into your cozy internet cocoon. More, glorious photo series captures women taking down their labels. More, student poses for topless photo shoot after a mastectomy to celebrate slaying breast cancer. More, photo series captures naked bodies in all their glory to challenge the idea of being normal.